But our final honoree today is somebody that probably around the world, we talked about the legend of Bodacious. Around the world, when you talk about bull riding, people from all walks of life know the name Lane Frost. The 1987 PRCA World Champion bull rider, and probably what endeared him to a lot of people and put him one step beyond as far as the media attention was his legendary match of champions when he was matched against Red Rock. Of course, John Browning took that bull around to a lot of places all over the West Coast, and they really drew a big fan base. He's one of the most loved, popular, and respected bull riders ever. I know you've got some stories of Lane Frost.
Well, I met him for the first time in Vernal, Utah. Clyde and Elsie were living there behind the bucking chutes, and a little boy walked up to me. He was about 10 years old and stuck his hand out and says, "Hi, Don Gay, I'm Lane Frost. I'm going to be just like you." Shook my hand. I patted him on the head and I said, "Well, it's nice to meet you, Lane." I said, "You got a long way to go, cowboy." And, you know, being the smart ass I was, and, you know, he came a long way. His dad, of course, he was raised riding in the rodeo business. Clyde, y'all make your way on up here. Clyde Frost, an NFR bareback rider, bronc rider, bull rider. You know, he's a cowboy. Lane Frost was not just a bull rider, he was a cowboy. I mean, he could ride, he could rope, he could do everything. But what he was best at was being a really wonderful, special person. I mean, Lane Frost could walk into any place, whether it was dark inside or light inside. When he came in the room got a little bit brighter. That's my Lane Frost thing. He was a great bull rider. He loved everything about the rodeo business. He could tell you, like me when I was little, he could tell you who the champions were. He knew the history of the business. He understood the livestock. He had everything that you needed if you wanted to be successful in the rodeo arena. But his personality and his smile, just like that picture somebody got of him. You know, I can look at it and I can see him playing with aggravating Tally on the couch in my living room. I mean, you know, it was such a close friendship, you know, and a big part of it because I was friends with y'all, and you know, that boy was an inspiration. And I'll tell you my Lane Frost bull riding story. I guess he's 16 or 17, and he was riding here in the high school thing, and he just had his knee operated on. He was already crippled at 16, you know, for all of you young guys that want to start too damn early. Okay, so he's in the high school deal, but he entered Mesquite, he rode a bull there, and there was a two-header that week because it was the Walt Garrison All-Star Rodeo, and the finals, the short go, was at Fair Park. George Strait was going to sing, so this place was packed. So Lane qualifies. He has to go back and forth, and I guess Elsie was driving him back and forth from Mesquite to here, working the high school deal, and he comes to Dallas, and he's got 81 Dillinger. And this is the Dillinger before the one you rode. This is the Brennan Dillinger. You had the black ball face Dillinger. Okay, so the Brennan Dillinger, riding the gate to the left every time, been rode one time by me. I mean, he was a really extremely good bull. He was a 21 and a half pointer every day. Lane draws Dillinger in the short go, and I drew Charlie Brown, another NFR pretty ranked bull. So Lane comes up to me and he said, "Hey, what about Dillinger?" And I said, "Well, kid," I said, "you're probably overmatched." I said, "But you do have a chance." I said, "because he's going to turn back right there to the left." I said, "When I rode him," I said, "he had a little down coming around the corner, but after that, he was just I mean, it was fun, but it was a blur. And I said, if you keep pumping, you might manage. He was 92 and I was 88. So much for how much I know and him being overmatched, but you know, whether he was 92 or whether he bucked off, it wasn't over 2 or 3 steps out of the arena that he had that smile back on his face. The guy was the most comfortable world champion in his own skin I ever saw.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clyde and Elsie Frost, Lane's parents. I'll let you guys step over this way. For the last almost 3 decades, they've spent, given so much of their time to the sport of rodeo, not only in the ministry and everything else, but talk about this ride with not only during the time that Lane was rodeoing, but what it has brought to your family since then.
Oh my goodness.
Well, I won't talk, so. Elsie, come over here where the folks can see it.
Well, it's just given us and our family so many opportunities that we would have never had before. I mean, we've been invited to go places and do things that I never dreamed we'd be able to do, you know, and so, you know, Lane would be so tickled about all that stuff, you know, probably up there giggling, you know, thinking, now you've got to do the stuff, but he's so admired Donnie Gate. I mean, that was his idol. In fact, when he kind of took a spurt of growing and got bigger than Donnie Gate, he just thought he was not going to be able to be a good bull rider because he was bigger than Donnie Gate. But he overcame that and was okay. Donnie's got something to say.
Well, that was taller. You know, he never did get this wide.
He got taller. Well, this Bull Riding Hall of Fame would not be complete without Lane Frost. Thank you for your time. But carry on with what you want to say, and I'm going to get to this stuff here.
Such an honor, but I just remember, I don't know if you remember or not, but she came by one time in your airplane and landed in Atoka and picked the plane up. I don't know where you was going, but I never saw a kid so tickled all my life. I'm sure when he got in with you, he tried to remain calm and everything, but he was so tickled that day. He was just a line. And Denny Flynn, he just looked up to him so much, and at his bull riding schools, he always mentioned, you know, Denny did it this way or Denny did it that way. And in fact, he went to one of Donnie Gaye's bull riding schools and helped him with it to kind of learn how to do a bull riding school. That was the time the bulls got out.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, the bulls got out. You know, one of the students left the back gate open, so there's like 16 head of bulls got out. They went right down. I mean, the LBJ freeway runs right in front of the arena. Okay, so see, 15 of these bulls is on the southbound side of the freeway, but they were on, you know, on the dirt embankment and they were going down. I jumped on a horse bareback and took off. Lane jumps on a horse a colt that's there, and Pete got on. No. Somebody else, I can't remember who else was horseback. Might have been Cody Lambert, but Lane and Emmer were all three going down the side of the freeway. Well, 2 of these bulls went across the southbound lanes, jumped the median, went across the northbound oncoming traffic. I mean, people were squealing their tires, you know. Lucky didn't kill anybody. Bulls got on across. My dad had raced up to the house to hook up 2 more goosenecks and saddle some more horses. And of course, he's just cussing up a storm that we left the damn gate open, you know, and this, that, and the other. Some of y'all know my father. He didn't hold back much. And so he runs to the back and to the back pasture and opened a corner gate that you could go out that corner gate and go down the embankment. That was the freeway. And this is the Jesus deal, folks. There's 12 of these bulls. We're herding them, and I'm thinking, what are we gonna do? You know, and I'm trying to get around in front. So they go up the embankment. They could have went anywhere. And there's a space about as wide from this desk to that flag in between the bridge on Bruton Road, which crosses 635. That's an exit. And Newmarket Road is the road that I live on. And there's a bridge there. These bulls went through where the end of the bridge and the curb of someone's yard starts. These bulls went through that hole, and my dad had this gate open. And they went in a line like little gentlemen. All 12 of them. They crossed two busy streets by themselves, basically. We were out there, cowboys out. They were from here to the front door. And single file went in that pasture. My dad traps them. So then we load up in the trucks to go find Lane and Cody. Went after the two. They crossed the oncoming traffic through the embankment. Followed them into downtown Mesquite. Okay, so there's a couple of neighborhoods. One bull goes to the right, Lane's after him. Another bull goes off to the left down another street. So Pete's in a pickup, driving like a maniac and following this bull. Cody's coming, and they're driving up and down the street. They can't find this bull. And so they're driving. Pete said he's driving real slow, and Cody's, checking backyards. See where this bull might have stuffed up. And here Pete heard somebody scream. He turned around, he looked, and he said some old fella come running out of his garage, and this bull right behind him. And Cody was coming up the street and ran across and roped him. And Pete, and then they got another rope on him, pulled him around the trailer. You know how you do it, and drug him up in the trailer. So my dad and I we're looking for Lane and his bull. Lane has roped this bull on, I can't remember, Major's Drive. And in this yard he was in, there was a big oak tree, and he's roped this bull, and he finally got him stopped. He roped him on the pavement, and this bull run up going through the yards. And real nice St. Augustine grass front yard, big oak tree in the middle, and this bull has made a circle around this oak tree, and Lane made a couple of wraps around, so he had him dally to the tree, because this horse he's on the 3-year-old, and it's going to give out on him. We'd never roped anything. Lane's already roped the bull, got him dallied around this tree, and when my dad pulled up with the trailer, the lady that owned the house in the yard that we had torn completely up, she has had time, he's been holding this bull, she'd had time to go in and make hot chocolate because it was cold and raining naturally. And Lane is sitting on his horse drinking hot chocolate, visiting with this lady he'd never met, and they're big friends, but that's Lane Frost. It doesn't matter, but you know what? He's a cowboy and a great guy, and that's because he had great parents.
Well, I just want to say how generous they've been with their time. Whether it's the Pro Rodeo League of Women fashion show during the NFR in Las Vegas or any other event that raises money for the Justin Cowboy Crisis Fund. I'm a proud recipient of the Lane Frost Award, which is an award for contribution to rodeo that they give here at the Fort Worth Stock Show. But the time that you've spent giving back to the sport of rodeo has not only perpetuated Lane's memory, but it has really helped the sport of rodeo bring recognition.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I just wanted to tell everybody we gave all the recipients one of the Lane Frost Bibles, and I have extra ones back there if anybody would like one. In fact, we've got more in the car if we run out, so anybody that wants one can have a Bible, and so appreciate that.
How about a big thank you to Elsie and Clyde. They make their way right down here to Fort Worth, and we're so glad to have y'all in the Bull Riding family.
Well, and I'm so proud to have so many of our friends in our family here today. We have Wes Ward's here and Lynn Kutch from Utah, a good friend of Lane's. He probably made Lane's first bull rope he had up there. And just like getting to ride with you. And he would have been so glad to watch Chris Shivers ride. Every time I'd see Chris ride, I think Lane would have been so tickled about that.
Thank you. The Bull Riding Hall of Fame welcomes